seguir subiendo.
Bye.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Crypto. I'm your host, Bitcoin J, and I am here with my co-host, the BTC Queen. Queen, how you doing today?
What's up, guys? Everything is good here in the space. Can't complain. We got some semi-left field news over the week, which was SBF went to jail.
Yes, I saw that. I
never thought that guy would see jail. But it's not for the reason that most of you think. You'd be like, oh, yeah, he did a lot of stuff. He went to jail, but it's a little more complicated than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a real interesting episode today. We got a lot of things brewing up with news to Bitcoin's there's a buy signal on Bitcoin right now that I'm going to share with you guys that has popped up, yesterday when the weekly candle closed. And it's a signal that has never been wrong. Last time we got this signal was in January of this year, and Bitcoin's price went up from that signal over 80%. So definitely excited to share that with you guys. And we're gonna kind of run through everything else that's going on in the market, what we might be expecting this week and so forth. So let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with the price of Bitcoin, where it's at right now and what is going on with it. So let me go here to the main monitor, and here we go. So right now you can see that the price of Bitcoin is sitting at $29,600 right now. So we spoke about this last week a bit, where we had this falling wedge that we spoke about. So we spoke about two patterns last week, right? We spoke about a possible double top pattern, and we spoke about this falling wedge pattern, right? So the falling wedge last week, we got the breakout. So we spoke about it on Monday, and look at this. The very next day, we got that breakout to the upside. And once again, we got rejected at that resistance there at $30,000, and the price got pushed all the way back down. Now, we're gonna get a little bit more into detail about this. I don't want to do the analysis right now. We're gonna do the analysis in a bit, but you can see that we went down to support, and price has been jumping right back up right now. So that's currently where we're at, what we're watching. And we'll do an analysis a little bit. We'll dive in a little bit deeper on this analysis in a few moments. And we're going to talk about, of course, the buy signal that has been flashing. Okay, let's take a look here at the overall market and see what is going on. So the first thing here, other than Bitcoin, we see Ethereum it's currently sitting at about 1850 right now. And you can see in the last 7 days, Bitcoin's up about 2.5%, Ethereum up about 2%. And let's see, what else do we have? XRP up about 4%, Solana up almost 11%. And Shiba's been one of the big movers in the last week, up 16%. So let's take a look at the top performers, since we're looking here at the top performing coins right now in the top 100. And at number one, we have Bitcoin, which honestly I'm not really sure what it is. do you know what Bitcoin is?
No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, so Bitcoin, I'm not sure what it is. It's up 62% over the last 7 days. Then we have Thorchain, that's up 49% over the last 7 days. We have Pepe making a comeback. So if you guys know, Pepe has been on a losing streak for the last few weeks. I think almost every week it's been on the top loser side, and this week finally back on the top gainer side. It's up 32%. Then we have Toncoin up 22%, and Hedera and Shiba finishing it off here. On the top losers side of the equation, we have Kaspa down 12.5%, Optimism down about 10%, GMX down about 9.6%, Mantle down about 9.5%, and XDC Network down about 7%. So that's pretty much over the last 7 days in the top 100 coins, what's the top gainers and losers have been. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for this week. Let me go to the most important events that we might be seeing. And what you're gonna notice is that there's really not much else. Now, last week, remember we spoke about we had spoke about the the CPI data. We had the CPI data, and it was a big nothing burg, right? A big nothing burger. Nothing really happened with it. We had what it felt like is that the market was like confused on how to take in the information, right? So we've been, I think it was like a year straight, 12 months straight of CPI data coming in lower and lower and lower each month, right? A year over year. And then last month, it came in higher than the year over year, right? So the month before, our previous CPI data, it came in at 3%. Then this report that we just got last week came in at 3.2%. So it was higher year over year. However, it was lower than what was being forecasted and what was being expected by consensus, right? So it seemed like the markets didn't really know how to take in the news. It kind of went up, it went down, and it just kind of ended up where it started at the beginning of the week. So not much movement happened there. And now, as far as the economic calendar, there's really not much else that's going to be going on this week. If we look here, let me pull up the monitor here. We have tomorrow, we have retail sales. Then Wednesday we have building permits. None of that's gonna affect the market really. Then on Wednesday at 2 p.m. we do have the FOMC minutes, which is basically a report of their meeting that they had last month. So sometimes that could affect the market because basically we're going to be getting some insight on which way the Fed might be leaning on whether they're going to raise hike interest rates again, or if they're going to pause, or if they might cut interest rates, right? So depending on if this gives us any insight whatsoever, the market might react to it. So I think that's probably going to be the biggest thing that we might see here. Maybe for the rest of the month, to be honest. In August, you can see for the rest of the month, there's really nothing big that's gonna affect prices overall. And basically until September, we really have nothing going on for the rest of this month. So any volatility, any movement is gonna be more based on news. Outside news is gonna be more based on technicals. Maybe earning reports and things of that nature. So that's pretty much where we're at as far as the economic calendar for the remainder of this month. We had the main thing already happened, right? Now let's see what else do we have here. Oh, if we look at right now, trying to figure out whether or not the Fed's going to hike interest rates again. If we take a look at the probabilities right now for the target rates. Right now, they're expecting targets to be the interest rates to be paused in September. So that's what the market's expecting. When we get that the FOMC minutes on Wednesday, this could change depending on what comes out in that report. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now, I think that's pretty much it as far as what's going on in the overall market right now, and what's going on in the economic calendar. So let's go ahead and move on to the news here with the BTC Queen, because she's got some juicy stuff for us today.
Thanks, Jay. So first and foremost, let's talk about this discreetly launched platform that just kind of like took us by storm this morning. So PayPal pretty much is launching its own cryptocurrency platform alongside its stablecoin. So last week we talked about their stablecoin that was coming out, which is PYUSD. Today they're like, hey, actually, we're going to have an exchange for people to trade their cryptocurrencies and hold this PUSD. So they are in fact launching a platform, which I thought was quite interesting. Right now, I think it's available to a few users to kind of test out. It was, again, in secret. It kind of just came out of nowhere. Very surprised myself. I was like, all right. So, that was, I thought that was quite interesting. In contrast, the Fed has basically put out a new regulations / rules for companies or specifically banks to interact with cryptocurrencies. Furthermore, stablecoins. You have to have pre-authorization to do these things now. You also have to be approved, and there's a whole process that has been put in place for any banks that are dealing with cryptocurrencies. Whether it's in their own environment or external, anything that has to do with payments. So quite interesting what's happening there. I'm curious to see how this affects JP Morgan, or if, because they've already had stuff out on the market, they're grandfathered in and they don't necessarily have to adhere by these rules because for whatever amount of time, let's say they have efficiently have navigated this. Maybe they even helped the Fed put these things together. Obviously, we know Jamie has sat on the board in the past, and I'm sure he still has contacts there as one of the overseers at the Federal Reserve. So I don't know how this necessarily leaks into PayPal's territory now. As we know, Venmo and Cash App, you have the ability to buy Bitcoin or even hold it on those platforms now. But to have an entire platform dedicated to a crypto section, and now they're just having these rules, especially since these things connect to banks. We'll see how that rolls out, because very interesting what's happening there. So we'll see. Time will tell. So SBF in jail time. Here's a gossip. So in a nutshell, SBF had went to trial last week, and he was taken out in handcuffs. The judge deemed that he was tampering with evidence, basically because he had revealed Caroline, his sweet ex-girlfriend's diary, to the New York Times reporter all those months ago. The judge saw that as using intimidation to tamper with witnesses. And because of that, he is now held in jail until October is when he begins his trial officially. And I'm very shocked. I didn't see this one coming. I mean, we all saw when that happened, when he's like, oh, here's my girlfriend's diary, right? And from there, he's just gotten away with things left and right. A lot of things have been retracted, but I feel like he's getting in over his head, and now he's playing stupid. So obviously the courts are not in his favor for, trying to over leverage his bets is what's happening. We thought he was done with his leveraging days. Clearly not. He's still trying to play the game. So with that happening, the judge said, nope, you go to jail. He was on $250 million bond at his parents' house in Palo Alto, and now no more. That wasn't the only violation that he had in theory. He actually had other violations, such as using a VPN to access different platforms that weren't platforms he couldn't access. But why use a VPN? Well, what are you doing? They can see stuff on your network, unless he was trying to cloak what he was actually doing. Mm-hmm. So anyways, some of his what'd you say?
Sketch. He's so sketch. Yeah. Oh,
sketch. Oh yeah, no, he's super sketch. So whatever's going on there, it's pretty much the walls are closing in on him now. So we'll see how trial goes in the next couple months, because some of his charges were initially retracted, but some of the charges were, I guess, recharged on him. So interesting to see how that's going to play out, because now things are in reverse. The Uno card reverse has been played, because jail time and retracted charges that are being recharged, and him just, I don't know, he's fucking around and finding out. That's basically what's happening there. So we'll see what happens to that guy. In other news, so Trump recently, in one of his indictment, I guess, filings, revealed that he had $500,000 in Ethereum. So that is not surprising to me. Of course, Trump has been pretty much anti-crypto for the most part. Doesn't really like digital currency, likes American money, it's the best money, blah, blah, blah. He's the president. It is what it is. Or was the president, right? It is what it is. So he has $500,000 in ETH. If you remember, there was a bunch of Trump NFTs coming out on the market about 6 months ago or so. And there was, I think, 2 rounds of these NFTs coming out. So if they were actually issued from him, this $500,000 that he has in ETH makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So, yeah, I mean, people are kind of just like, oh, Trump has crypto. It's not Bitcoin, though. Ha ha. But it's not about that. It's about him. He was informed to take an opportunity. He took it, and he ended up with $500,000 in ETH. That's pretty much it. He never actually bought crypto. I don't think he bought that crypto. Not if he actually did those NFT sales. I didn't look too far into the actual origins of this ETH, or what was claimed to be the origin, but it's very straightforward to me that that was pretty much where that money had came from, and he, in fact, did not buy the Ethereum. So,
yeah. I think that was a pretty obvious one. I think,
right,
from all that. The NFTs that he did. He did like 2 drops of the NFTs, right?
Yeah, he did 2 drops. I believe he did 2 rounds. So, I mean, if those were his drops, then this money makes a lot of sense. Yeah. No surprise there. So, in other news, the Bitcoin ETFs, which have been long awaited for, have yet to be approved. Now the SEC is calling on the people to chime in on the ideas around the Bitcoin ETFs, which pretty much prolongs the process, right? So now this process could take several more weeks to instill. In theory, they have up to 240 days to give an answer. Now, companies like ARK Investment and 21 Shares, they have been trying to get this stuff approved since 2021. So it's been many years of pushing these documentations. This is probably like their 3rd submission at least. If they waited the 240 days every time, right? So supposedly the SEC is saying that they don't want to take a stand in it. They want the public to decide. Blah blah blah. Okay, fair enough. So guys, I ask you this. If you are somebody who is passionate about Bitcoin and would like to potentially have it in our larger, broader financial market and available to the grandmas and grandpas on the world that don't mess with Coinbase and don't care about holding their own keys, please comment on this new ETF proposal for Bitcoin. Do your due diligence and do give your share to the world around these topics, because it is important, I think, to push these things through. A lot of people speculate that the ETF will, in fact, help propel the next bull market. Whether or not that is or is not true, I think that the bottom line is that Bitcoin ETFs are something, and Ether ETFs are trying to do both, are something that has been a long time coming. I don't believe in, the idea of having it as a derivative asset. I believe that every company should actually hold it. They should have, proper processes in place, which I think for the most part, most companies do. Because if it's just somebody's investing into this Bitcoin ETF and they want to hold it for the next 10 years and, they want to use their 401k and whatever it is, then I think it's not a bad deal. So please, guys, go out there, do your thing as a citizen of the world, and vote for these ETFs, because I think that it is something that we're so close. Yes, so far, it's right there.
Yeah. Do you think
Just like you said.
do you think that they're gonna keep pushing back the ETF dates, and then probably when the new administration comes in, that's when it finally gets approved?
Maybe. How long until the new administration? You mean the presidency and all that? Well, I feel like it's going to take a while for the. How long did it take for Gensler to go in as the chair?
I'm not sure.
After, yeah, I'm like trying to think, but I mean, maybe, right? I think ideally,
I think that might be maybe worst case scenario, maybe.
Right.
Because I know BlackRock is pushing for it.
There's an overwhelming amount of people who are like, hey, please push this through, and like, we can just get this over with.
Right.
I think for the sake of anyone who's trying to gain favor, like it seems like this current administration is trying to gain favor in the wrong direction. Biden's very gung-ho on pushing all the climate change stuff. All of a sudden, there's all this climate change stuff. They banned, you can't buy light bulbs anymore.
I did not know that. What?
The incandescent light bulbs that are not LED.
Okay.
Light bulbs that you sit in a room, soft light, the ones you put on your lamp.
Right.
It's like, kind of, soft color. Those are no longer allowed to be sold.
Wow.
So, stuff like that, that's, whoever is attacking some of these angles, it's like they're attacking unpopular things. And it kind of doesn't make sense. And I think that's the same thing that's happening with the SEC. They're attacking very unpopular angles. Because, I mean, I haven't met any person who's extremely left that is like for these things,
right,
like, in my life. It just doesn't make any sense. I think the concepts of like UBI and all this other stuff has been pushed. Things of canceling student debt have been pushed, but none of those things have actually happened.
Right.
In fact, it is very likely they will never happen. And I feel like they're just trying to scrape for whatever is like possible in the meantime.
Yep.
Who knows?
But
what I do know is that here we are. But last thing on the news, CoinDesk is for sale. So it looks like what's their parent company again? Digital Holdings Group. Digital Holdings Group looks like they are getting rid of their wonderful news, I guess, distributors, CoinDesk, which makes me think, does that come with the conference brand that CoinDesk has built over the years? Because it is technically their conference. But a lot of individuals on the Twitter space have been like, I can buy CoinDesk now. So interested in seeing who exactly picks up CoinDesk and why. Of course, whoever the buyer is, the company has the last say in saying yes or no will they actually sell it to them. I think Charles Hoskinson was one of those people that was kind of like pondering the idea of buying CoinDesk, because it is in fact one of the largest news organization within the crypto space, and is I want to say it's not extremely reputable, because there have been some controversy. It's definitely better than Cointelegraph, which kind of just talks about everything under the sun and takes any amount of sponsorship money to push whatever out there. So yeah, we'll see who buys up CoinDesk over the next few days, because apparently they're laying off, or repositioning is what they're calling it, 25 to 45% of their task force. So there's going to be a lot of writers on the market if you're looking for any editors in the next upcoming months. So if you're a news organization, they will be abundant.
What are they selling it for? Do you know?
No, I haven't seen any figures, but I mean, if it brings that conference, probably 25 to 50 million easy.
Okay.
Easy. Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, that'll be interesting
It
to
really
see who
depends
buys
on
it.
their ROI. But yeah. What was it?
I said it'll definitely be interesting to see who buys that.
Yeah. No, same. I'm like, okay, cool. So, anyways, that is it for the week. Hopefully, maybe more exciting things come out. I guess only the juicy stuff was a PayPal platform and the SBF jail. And then outside of that, we're kind of just chilling in the background, waiting for more stuff to come out. But in the meantime, I guess let's look at that Bitcoin price analysis. Oh, one more thing, since you mentioned Hedera earlier. So Hedera has been up. I think as much as 1,290% leverage on a platform or two, because there was a company that was accepted into the FedNow network that uses Hedera.
Oh, wow.
So that drove some speculation, and that is why Hedera is on the top gainers list this week.
Nice. That's definitely interesting. Nice little nugget there as we transition over to the Bitcoin analysis for today. So now, guys, if you guys have any questions about anything that we're covering here today, make sure to drop it in the comments. If you're watching this live right now, drop it in the comments. Then we'll do at the end, after the analysis, we're going to do a Q&A at the end of this live stream. If you guys are listening to this after we've already been live and you want to try to get your questions in on Instagram, bitcoin.daily, every Sunday I post up. I do like a Sunday AMA. I give you guys a chance to post up some questions. And the best questions, I feature them on here as well. So if you're not able to watch live, no worries. Just on Sundays in the afternoon, around early afternoons, Eastern Standard Time is when I make that post, and you guys could drop your questions in there. So let's go ahead and jump into this, right? So let's start here at the monthly. Well, the monthly, not too much has changed. You can see, we're still on a trend, and because we're still we're only halfway through the month, there's not much to really look at. But you can see that so far for the month of August, we are green, up about 1% for the month. So let's see what happens in the next 2 weeks as we go into September. As you guys might know or might not know, September is usually one of the worst performing months for crypto. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out here over the next month or two. So now let's go to the weekly, which is where the buy signal that I want to talk to you guys about has been flashing. All right. So now in order to see the signal that I'm talking about, this is called the hash ribbon. Okay. So if you go to indicators and you just type in hash, you'll see hash ribbons comes out. It's the first one right here. You can pop that right onto your chart, and you're going to see right here, it's a green dot that says buy, right? So that flashed at the close of last week's candle. We got this buy signal right here. So last time that we got this was back in January, right here, this candle right here. Look at the buy signal, and look at what happened with the price after we got that buy signal, right? Price went from, at the time this candle closed at $20,000, and we went up to a high of basically $32,000, $31,869, depending what chart you're looking at. So what does this mean? Right, and if we continue to go back, right, let's go back to the buy signal before that, which was right here. It was this candle here that closed at 43,000 back in August of 2021, and what happened after that? Price went to all-time highs of $69,000. If we go further back, let's look for another buy signal here. Here we go on November 2020, got a buy signal where the candle closed at 19,400, and of course we went up to a high at that point of $65,000 before a correction, and then ultimately going up to 69,000. You know, and you can pretty much keep doing this over and over. July 2020 got a buy signal when the candle closed at 9,300, and this went all the way up again to $65,000. So you can just basically keep doing this over and over, and you'll notice that every time this buy signal has popped up, price has eventually gone up. The only time that it was, and its price still went up, but we got a lower price than where the buy signal happened, was during the pandemic. You can see here on December of 2019, we got this the buy signal here at a closing of $7,300, and we went up to a high of $10,500. So we basically did go up $3,000 before, of course, in February of 2020, when the entire markets dropped, right? So as you can see, every time this buy signal has popped up, long term, and this is not saying that today is going to go up or tomorrow or this next coming week, but on the more longer term and in the next few weeks, the next few months, it usually has meant that Bitcoin's price is going to go up. So what exactly is what exactly is it that's giving us that buy signal from the hash ribbon? And if we go over here, hash ribbon indicator, this is lookintobitcoin.com, and it gives us a brief description on exactly how the hash ribbon indicator works. So the Bitcoin hash ribbon indicator tries to identify periods where Bitcoin miners are in distress and may be capitulating. The assumption is that such periods can occur when the price of Bitcoin is at major lows and may therefore present a good opportunity to buy the dip. So that's the basis of it, right? This has to do with miners, and basically because that's why it's called the hash ribbons. It has to do with the hash rate, right? So it goes on to kind of describe a little bit further. But you guys, if you guys want to, you can go in here, just look into the bitcoin.com, look up the hash ribbons indicator and read more into it. You can see it tells you exactly what it is. How is the Bitcoin chart calculated, how to interpret the hash ribbons Bitcoin chart, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of good stuff in here that you can learn a little bit about. But to make it as simple as possible for you guys, when the buy signal happens, you buy, right? That's always been the thing here with this indicator, and it flashed here on the weekly. Not only on the weekly, but if you go over to the daily, it's also flashed on the daily chart. And I'm sure when the monthly chart closes, it might flash on the monthly chart as well. So so that's kind of where we're at right now, right? Now the other thing, we spoke about this last week, was this falling wedge pattern, right? A reversal pattern that basically is signaling a reversal, and it's bullish to the upside. So, and you can see that after we spoke about it, the very next day we broke out, went all the way up as high as 30,244, and now we're kind of correcting back. We're retracing back a little bit, and that's fine, right? A lot of times, if you look up this pattern, a lot of times what you're gonna see is exactly that. Let me see if I can get the brush here. You'll see exactly that, where the price breaks out, it moves back down, it retests basically the breakout point, and then continues up higher. So that's something that might be playing out right now, right? Where we're retesting the breakout point before going up higher. Now 30,000 is still the main resistance here. Ever since we lost it here, when we lost $30,000 right here in this area here, once we lost it, we've been stuck under it basically, right? So remember, it was a big support. If you look back through here, it was a huge support that was holding up the price. Once we lost it with this big candle, it became a big resistance, and that's currently where we've been stuck under. So right now, what we want to see is a break above $30,000 and a hold, right? So we want to see price hold above 30,000. We ideally want to see that daily candle hold. So there's a few ways that you can kind of play this. One way is to try to catch the initial breakout, right? Because a lot of times when it breaks out, you're gonna get, something like, let's see, let me pull up. So something like this. Look, when we initially broke out above 30,000, we went all the way up to $31,000, right? And then we pulled back, right? And then we retested this bottom. So then that gives us another option at that opportunity, right? Because a lot of times when it's going to attempt to break out and it's going to get pulled, it's going to get rejected and pulled right back. So what happens if you're trying to enter those breakout entries? A lot of times you might get stopped out. So the other way to play it is wait for that breakout to confirm, close above 30,000, and then when it retraces back to 30,000, you buy it at 30,000. So you buy on that support, that breakout retest. So that's the other way that you can play that if you're looking to play that 30,000 area. Now, the way that we've been kind of playing it in the Discord over the last few weeks is not opening any breakout entries here, but instead what we've been doing, when we see price go above 30 and we see that rejection and price fall right back under 30, we've been shorting that. So if you've been doing that, you could see it here that went all the way down to 29,000, and it happened again here, went all the way back down to 29,000, and it happened again here all the way back to 29,000. So that's been another play that's been profitable over the last couple weeks as we've continued to get rejected there. And then the last play has been buying that $29,000 support, which basically, all of this, you can see all of this here has been a buy range. If you've just been longing there and selling when at close to that $30,000 area, then you've been making an easy profit. So that's pretty much what we're going to be looking at this week as well. For the longer term, we have that buy signal. So we know that we want to play it to the upside, but also we're under a big resistance right now. So because of that, we're not going to be playing breakouts right now. What we're going to be doing is looking for opportunities at this support level. Also, if we zoom out a little bit more, we'll notice that we have the big trend line here as well. So this is going to be a big opportunity here to potentially long anywhere under $29,000 right now, because we have the falling wedge that's going to be basically play as a support. We have the trendline support, and we have we have the $28,000 support period, right? That number. So it's a big level there. There's a lot of confluence going on there, and there's a lot of liquidity as well in this range. So I wouldn't be surprised for prices to retest these lower levels before continuing up if we do get rejected at $30,000 again. So that's pretty much what I'm watching this week. I'm looking to long support, short resistance, unless we get a clear breakout above this. We get a daily close. So I want the daily candle to close above 30,000. If at that point we retest 30,000, then I'll be looking to play 30,000 as a support rather than a resistance. So I'll be looking to long with a target of $31,000. So those are basically the 3 or 4 plays that I'm going to be doing now. Long term, again, I'm going with the signal that's never been wrong. If you're looking a lot more long term, this could be a very good time. Historically, this buy signal has been the perfect time to add to your long-term portfolios because this has always signaled a move up for Bitcoin there. So for long-term, very, very bullish. Medium term, we could still kind of bounce around as we're going into September, which for crypto, it's known to be kind of a rough month historically. Short term, again, we're at that. We just broke out of the falling wedge. We got rejected at 30K, came back, retested that breakout. We might be bouncing back up now to 30K again. So you can see that today we almost hit 29,700. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna be watching for this week and how I'm gonna be playing it. Queen, are you familiar with the hash ribbon?
I'm not. I've heard of it several times, but I've never actually, I guess, have like messed with it or like
Yeah.
read stuff over and understood those aspects.
Yeah. Well, I also have, I forgot that I did this actually 6 months ago. If you guys go to my YouTube channel, the last time that we got this exact buy signal, I actually did a video on it called the most profitable Bitcoin indicator, the hash ribbon indicator. So I actually did a video on this 6 months ago when we got this signal here, the initial one in January. So this was back in January when we got this signal here. I made a video on this, on why you should buy when that buy signal flashed, and look at the result of that. Right, we went from what was it, $20,000 all the way up to $31,000. So if you would have bought when I did that video, the last time that we got that signal, you would have definitely made a very nice profit here with Bitcoin. So once again, I love historical data and I'm sticking by it. So I think now is another good opportunity here to buy some Bitcoin for your long-term portfolios. All right, guys. So I can't hear you if you're talking. I saw your mouth.
I said, let's do it, guys.
Oh, there. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do some Q&A here. Let's take a look at some of the questions. I got some good ones over the weekend yesterday here. So let's take a look at them here. So let's see. So we got one of the questions that we got here, I think is pretty much, I think we've answered it before. Is Coinbase a good platform to use? What's your best recommendation for another one? So I think we spoke about this in a previous one. That I think we both agreed that Coinbase, Gemini are good for ramp on or off from fiat. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say so for the time being.
Yeah. So and Coinbase is a publicly traded company, so it's probably one that's. So if you're looking to ramp on, ramp off, it probably will be one of your best bets. And I think Gemini would be a close second there. Somebody asked 5 altcoins to hold until 2025. What do you think?
Till 2025. You sell it off in 2025? Is that
yeah, I think they're they're basically. I think they're basically wondering, to sell at the peak of the bull market.
I mean, obviously Ethereum, probably ADA, Cosmos, Atoms, Osmosis. I guess Coinbase has a stock. They don't have a coin.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to take some time for XRP to do some numbers, but maybe XRP, I'd say.
Yeah.
People like Matic.
Yeah, I think I agree with most of those, and it looks like we're like, I don't know if I'm lagging on my end or you're lagging. I think it's me on my end that's lagging because the live stream, I'm looking at it looks blurry, so it might be something with my internet. Sometimes it likes to act up, but yeah, I like altcoins. So other than Bitcoin, Ethereum for sure. I really like Avalanche as well. I think XRP, once this case is settled, it could go up to like $4 or $5. We spoke about that before. Cardano's been basically in the top 10 for, since it's existed. I think that's a good bet into the next bull market. It's a safe bet, and it's gonna go up, right? Chainlink, Polkadot, Matic is probably gonna come back. Yeah, I think those are all pretty good bets there for that. For 20 to hold to basically buy now, hold into 2024, 2025. You'll notice that most of these are L1s, L2s. I think those are probably the safest. If you want to talk about like the safest bets, those are probably the safer bets. They're also in the top 10, top 25 coins, which I did a review of looking back into the previous bear market going into the last bull market, and the best return was in those top 25 coins during the bear markets into the bull market. So that's what I do. I'd stick to the top 25 coins. Once you get past the top 25, then you start getting more into that dart throw territory, where some projects may pan out, some may not, some may bust. And in that report, that analysis I did, it showed that in the top 25 during the bottom of the bear market last time, all the way to the top of the peak of the bull market, none of those top 25 coins busted or went to zero or went negative. They all went positive. And once you get beyond the top 25, then you started to get projects that either completely busted, went to zero, or went negative in that period of time. So yeah, I think top 25 is probably where you want to, if you want to be on the safer side of it, is where you want to be, as far as what you're doing with your portfolio. Let's see, anything else? Someone asked, what's cryptocurrency looking like in the next few months? What do you think?
The next few months.
Yeah.
Well, what's today? It's August. So like from here to December. Well, depending if this ETF stuff passes, very positive.
Yeah.
I don't think it will look very negative though. Like I don't think if we see any negative stuff, it'll be like it would be crazy. I think overall, like we should be okay. I think we're on an uptrend at this point in time, just based off the trajectory that we're going. The halving is coming up in, I guess, a couple months, in August. Yeah, so the halving's coming up in August, and yeah. Well, not August. I'm sorry. I meant April. Halving's coming up in April.
I was like August.
We should be pretty good on an upward trajectory.
Yeah.
At that point in time, so we'll see how it goes. I think for the most part we'll be on a positive uptrend, regardless of whatever situation we may face.
Yeah, same here. I think a lot of it might have to do with the ETF news. What happens with that? With the XRP news as well, because they made the appeal. So those are two,
right,
kind of big news events that could change the price in one direction or the other. And we just spoke about, there's a big buy signal here from this indicator that has never been wrong. So I think from today on to December, I think when we look back in December to today, basically, Bitcoin's price will be higher in December, especially because the fourth quarter is usually the most bullish quarter historically for Bitcoin. So I think once we get past September, maybe in September we have it's a little rocky, where we either consolidate, or we just don't really move much. We might go up, might go down, kind of stay in the same spot. Kind of like we're doing right now. But overall, the trend is to the upside, right? We have a bullish trend overall when looking at the price. We have this bullish buy signal on the hash ribbon. We have the fourth quarter coming up, right? That's usually bullish for Bitcoin. And then towards the end of the year, people are already going to start anticipating the Bitcoin halving, which comes in, basically 4 months after that. So I think, Steam is going to start picking up at the end of towards the end of the year. And yeah, I think we will be higher by the end of the year than where we are right now. So right now, Bitcoin's price is at 29,475. I think by the end of the year, we could be closer to like $35,000 range, 35 to like 37 range, which is another big resistance area there for Bitcoin. So that's what I'm thinking we could be at by the end of this year at this point.
Yeah. No, we'll definitely be on a positive uptrend. There's just no way no way it can be otherwise at this rate, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think in order for it to go down, there would have to be something like FTX collapse type thing.
Right.
Exactly. And the only right, and the only thing that if I had to try to think of something that could happen, that could be a collapse the size of FTX, would be something like Binance. Would they collapse? That's basically what it would have to be in order for Bitcoin's price to drop. Because even if the ETFs get rejected or pushed back or whatever, it's only a matter of time still. I don't think Bitcoin's price is going to drop drastically because of that. XRP, that's something that could also affect prices if, let's say, with this appeal, the SEC wins the appeal, and then the XRP, the judge says that XRP is a security for everybody, right? That's another reason why crypto could go down. But again, this would be more towards altcoins, not really Bitcoin. So I don't know. I think Bitcoin would still go down because it is overall the crypto market that's affecting. But I think it's going to hold up a lot stronger than the rest of the altcoin market if that were to happen, right? So I still feel pretty, I don't feel like that would cause Bitcoin's price to like plummet from where we're at right now. So unless something like that happens, those two events or something else that we can't even think of right now, I don't see why Bitcoin's price will drop tremendously, for no reason. So, that's kind of where I'm at. But all right, guys, we're getting to the top of the hour here, and we're pretty much wrapping things up here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Everyone who submitted in questions for the Q&A, appreciate you guys as well. We are live every single Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is episode 25, so we're already 25 episodes in. Now next week I will be out of town. I'm going to take my laptop with me. Hopefully I'm able to set it up so that we can still do this. I don't think it should be a problem, but in case it is, if we don't go live next week, it's because of that. Either way, I'm gonna try to set it up though. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You have any last words?
Nope. I think we're good. Hopefully, let's see what happens in the next upcoming weeks. That's what I'm excited for.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. As always, peace and love.